Have you ever wondered how hard it would be to do everything in Final Fantasy XIV? Well, last year I decided to put that to the test and see if me, the most average player in existence, could do it. We've still got a ton left to do and the hardest grinds are yet to come, so let's see if I can 100% ffxiv before I inevitably lose my will to live. Alright, so it's no secret with the last few episodes I've been pretty behind in terms of time when things have been happening. I believe some of the stuff I've been showing happened about two and a half months ago. So my goal at this episode is going to be to catch things up a little bit, blitz through some of the stuff we've been doing and try to at least make a little bit of ground, make it a little bit closer to where we actually are and get things a little bit more up to date, which will be better for me, obviously, but also I think it'll be a little bit more interesting for all of you to follow along more as it's happening rather than kind of a couple month delay. So the progress might go a little bit faster. There might be a lot more. It won't be a longer episode. It just a lot of things will be happening potentially. So just as a forewarning. Hey, we won. I've won 10 frontline games. Hooray! I get kicked in like 20 minutes. Please! No! That's a lot of silent. No, you're baiting me. I am not falling for this. If you have it, you better roll up to here with the mount. You better not have it. No. Ooh, I got a gold coffer. There's definitely not a mount in here, but I'll still be happy. There's not a mount. So I did some math on this grind, which is something you should never do when you're doing a long grind, but it's about 71.5 hours spent just doing bunny fates, just in Pyros. And there's a whole other area that I also the farm out. We are almost at 400 chests. It has been a very long grind. I've made enough money from doing this to buy the mount like 3 times over at this point. Unfortunately, that is not something I am allowing myself to do, so I must sit here and suffer with the bots. Around this time, we had the Christmas event, and we got the Reindeer mount with its cool gift animation that it does, which is kind of neat. Since it is a seasonal mount that's going to be in the Mog Station online store in like a couple years, it doesn't count for the series, but you know what? It's still cool to have. Around this time, it was announced that the Omega Ultimate would be the newest Ultimate coming into the game, and as a static, we decided we wanted to prioritize that rather than DSR, so we are pausing Prog for DSR for the time being, and starting to focus on that when it comes out. I'll talk a little bit more about what that implies, but we will be needing to clear the current raid tier to get access to that, so that'll be coming up sometime soon. Oh. I'm gonna get sad when I don't get it, and we're gonna move on with dude! It's over! I got the horn. Oh, I had a rough day with raiding today, and that it's a very nice boost. I'm done. I don't have to do Pyros anymore for this mount farm. I can just go to Hydratos. That's so sick. I'm so happy about that. It's so cool. I love this mount so much too. It's such a cool mount. It doesn't seem real. God, how many did I do? 400 attempts. That was my 26 gold coffer. I had 238 bronze coffers and 135 silver coffers, meaning that I made 8.3 million in raw gil just doing this. And we're done with one half of it now because I finally have gotten this mount horn. All right, let's pop it open. You don't understand. I mean, you probably do understand how much relief this is. But like, I actually really like this mount. Like, not even just because like I suffered to get it, but like, unironically, I just think it's just a cool looking dude. Just a cool looking Yeti. One of the mounts I've really wanted. Obviously the effort that went into getting it means a lot for it. But well, that is one of the 3 remaining Eureka mounts. It's so good. I'm so happy. This is like the most relieved and excited I've been in this series so far, because like unlike the Wyvern mount, like it could have taken another 400 to get this, could take another 1400, like who knows? Like there's the one downside of this series and the rules of it is that RNG stuff like this can just destroy you if there's no pity rate for it. So happy to have it. Love this mount, really fun. Not getting it, but just having it's fun. We also did EX2 for the first time, which is a small step up from EX1 in terms of the fact that you can't just follow one person the entire time for it. But I think they did a good job with the first 2 extremes of making them good like stair steps for people that are learning the game. Not only learning the game, but like getting into stuff that's outside of normals for the first time. And kind of tackling that difficulty of stuff and prepping for that. I think they're pretty manageable. So if you haven't done any extremes, if you just kind of playing for the story and you want to dip your feet into things, obviously unsyncing past trials are a good way to get into that as well. But honestly, I think starting with the Endwalker extremes 1 and 2 are a good place to start with it. Most of the later mechanics in EX2 that might be confusing or hard to do, honestly, you don't even see them. You skip a lot of stuff now just for general gear. So either way, but I had a good time with this. It's a fun fight. Not too much going on with it. We quickly got to a point where we could meme around with it, but the first few attempts at it was a learning experience. Stand on 3 and just skip. Hey! I actually rolled kind of high for once. I rolled alright for once, and I didn't get it! Oh my god. They really look like bot. They all have the basic chocobo, they're all summoners, they all have the exact same outfit. Well, you learn something awful every day. Well, first map, and we get to the end. A big boy circle. Nice. Too clear. We did it. Ooh, I got a gold coffer. Is it going to be the mount? Nope. Game suck. Second gold coffer of the night. Nothing at all. Okay, this is my 3rd gold coffer. All right, could this be it? That was weird. It like delayed, gave me one of the items, and I was positive that was it. Okay, this is my 4th gold coffer of tonight. It's been a little bit since the last one, but I mean, we could just get it now. I can't even be upset because like I'm getting so lucky. Like this is ridiculous luck to get 4 in the same session like this compared to how it usually happens. All right, gamers, let's make it happen. First gold coffer of the day. Could just get the mount and leave. Nope. But another gold chest, another 100k. And like in like 3 hours, 3.5 hours of doing this. I've gotten 4 or 5 gold coffers, so like half a mil. So I can't complain. Gold coffer number 2 of the lockout. Let's see. Nothing but another 100k. All right, let's open it. Could be it. Could be done. All right, now is a good time to talk about the zoo mounts. Zoo is a weird mount. Zoo is a mount that is only obtainable by using airships, which is a free company exclusive thing. So in terms of the spirit of my rules, I want to be doing everything myself. Zoo being obtainable from airships means there's kind of an issue there because inherently other people are, if we created airships for the free company, it would inherently be something someone else is doing, something someone else can help me with. It's the only way to make it 100% like I'm the only person that could do anything with it is to basically leave my free company, make my own, make sure I'm the only person in it, and then spend all the money myself on it. I don't think that's fun or interesting for the series. It's very grindy, getting all of that together. So what I'm going to do is there's a second way you can get the zoo mount, which is material container 3. And if you remember from the Wyver mount video, I opened a decent amount of those, like a dozen, and I didn't get it. I actually didn't get any mounts from any of those material containers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stockpile 50 of those containers. I'm going to open all 50. If I get the zoo mount, great, no issues. If I don't get it from that, I will be making an exception to it, and I will be buying it. It's only 100k gil. It's really, that's kind of more of a gut punch as well. It's like it's super cheap as well, so going through all the extra effort. But I want to at least give it a shot doing it that way, but I just don't think it's interesting or fun, or it's not something I would enjoy doing. I apparently don't know how to count, and that was 50 scales. I actually don't know where you turn these in at the mount. But yeah, we're done with this. Did not get a coffer on the last one, which is kind of disappointing. I would have loved to get baited by the chest at the very, very end, but 196 normal scales and 50 of the plus scales means we can turn these in, get the mount, never have to do this again. I should have probably known it was in Kugane, but let's turn these in. All 50 scales gone. Sorry, it's like super dark, so it's hard to see everything, but yeah, actually, you know what? I'll say it. I actually really like the Rathalos mount. I don't know why the wings flap so quickly, but I think the next stuff to work on is really going to be PvP. I've been trying to level my Dragoon to 30 so that I can actually use it in a PvP, because I've heard it's a lot better for being more impactful on games and being able to help them out a little bit more as playing something like Dragoon or Ninja. So I'm hoping to see if that's gonna work out for me, and also I just generally wanted to level Dragoon a little bit, so it's a good excuse. All right, one thing I started on as well was Unreals, which are just bringing back previous extremes and syncing them to the current level. And after completing it a couple times, you get to play this battleship type game and try to find different things on the board, and revealing them gets you these faux leaves. And if you get 600 of them, you get to buy one of 5 mounts that you can only get either through this or through the Wondrous Tales, if you get extremely lucky with that. So this is going to be the main way I'm going to get all these mounts. It's a pretty long grind. If you get unlucky, it can take quite a few weeks, since it is time gated, how many times you can do it each week. So I'm going to be working towards that. The fights themselves are not too challenging, but they're kind of interesting and fun, and there's something I haven't gotten to yet because, I don't know, I was really intimidated by Unreals for whatever reason for the longest time, and I thought they were going to be much tougher than they actually are. But since the fights have been out for so long, like people know what to do for them, and people release guides for these before they even release, because they're the same mechanics. You can just go unsynced into the extremes and practice them if you want to. But either way, so I'll be throwing in clips of that here and there. But really, it's just going to be kind of another weekly thing to do. But it's a weekly thing I don't mind doing because I like doing the fights. Right, so only got 35 out of the 500 I need. Obviously, on a given week, I would get a lot. Presumably, I'd get a lot more than that, just because I'd be able to do a retelling of it and be able to go from there. But at least getting a little bit and doing Sephiroth was nice. The only issue being that the Unreal is going to change in just a couple weeks because 6.3 is coming out very soon. So I was a bit late on this, but I just got back into the game in 6.2. So at least getting to do an Unreal and get started on the grinds is good in itself. Just to show it, the faux leaves, you need 600 for the mounts. I thought it was 500. Apparently it's 600. 600 for the mounts, 400 for the minions. Not going to get through these for a while, but it's a nice just set of 5 mounts that I didn't have access to before because I just wasn't comfortable enough doing difficult stuff, and now we're able to kind of get there. So that's going to be nice. Going to be starting learning P5 and P6 today. I don't think gonna get much further than that. If we get to P7 at all, I'll be kind of impressed, but just trying to get this leading up to starting the Omega Ultimate. I'll at least have to do P8 once, which will also get me the mount, but that's going to be a bit of a challenge. We'll see how well it goes, but we're definitely not getting to that today. Contrary to what I was expecting, it only took like an hour to get through P5 and P6 for the first time, like cumulatively, not like each, like together they took an hour. And that's a testament to the people I'm with being gamers. So I definitely felt like lost in some ways, but I vaguely knew what to do, but it was just trying to do an entire fight all together all at once and not doing the same learning process with everyone. Like 7 of the people knowing the fight and 1 person not knowing the fight, or only having watched guides for the fight rather, is it's an experience. It's similar to how the Criterion dungeon was, where it's just like just trying to just survive and do things as you are reminded of them in your head. So I wrote up a bunch of notes for this, but either way, 5 and 6 were fun. I kind of regret not getting to do them more since all this was in preparation for Omega, and I think we only did each of these fights twice ever, so unfortunately didn't get to experience them a ton. I might go back and fix that up another time just to kind of learn them a little bit better, because I do regret kind of zooming through it. But it then took about 45 minutes or so to get through P7S, which I wasn't even expecting to get through. I was probably less prepared than I should have been. I just thought there was no way we got all the way through P7 today, but I still looked at stuff for it, but I thought I knew more than I thought I knew about it. The last part of the fight, still to this day, I can't imagine it in my head. I don't get it. It's a very backloaded fight, and that part was really stressful. I did not look forward to going back to that fight because it was very stressful, just because of not feeling like I knew what I was doing as much as with 5 and 6. But that did mean we get to P8 on our very first day of trying to clear stuff with me, which was surprising, honestly. We got pretty close to getting through the first part, because the P8S has a door boss. If you're not familiar with the game, door bosses are just, you have to get the first boss, the boss to 50%, and then it'll phase to a second part, and then for the rest of the instance you fight the second version of the boss, or the second boss, or whatever it is. So you have to beat the first part of the fight to get to the second part, and when you re-instance, you have to rebeat the first part of the fight to get back to it. You don't keep that checkpoint until you clear it. So that does cut away on a lot of your time to prog the second part of it if you get stuck on the first part for a while trying to get through the enrage of that. On our second raid day of going for it, we did make it to P2 and make it all the way to a clear after that, which One of the most stressful things I feel like I've done in this game is just tackling. The last part of the fight is very easy. All you do is you like spread out from each other. If you get hit by some, you have to do a little bit of adjusting, but you just have to chase down these cracks of the floor and then soak a tower at the end of them. But it is so stressful because if you see someone not chasing a tower, or like there's a tower that's about to go off that's like not soaked, it's like the most stressful thing, and like not wanting to be the one person mess it up. So but in the end, we were able to clear all 4 fights in just a couple of raid sessions, so at least pretty proud of myself for that. But it wasn't without a lot of stress. Oy. I wish I liked how it looked. It looks so silly. It looks so dumb. It's got the little sparklers coming off the side. But yeah, this is the mount. I mentioned it probably like 3 or 4 episodes ago, but how I really like this mount. I really want to get it. So I'm happy able to put it together. It only took us 6 hours from starting P5 to clear all 4. Everyone I'm with is extremely experienced and stuff, and really good at explaining it, and very patient, which I appreciate. But it's still really cool. It's obviously not your usual experience with everyone having to learn it and figure out how to adjust the things. There's not like a bunch of very good guides like Hector's guides for learning different fights immediately out. Actually, a few of them I think were out in the first week, but either way. But yeah, this is a really cool mount. I mentioned it before, but when you fly on it, it switches to the Phoenix. You have the Serpent and the Phoenix from the first phase, which is really cool. I love mounts that switch pretty significantly as you go in the air. Apparently some mounts actually switch when you go in the water, which I don't know which other mounts do that. I think the Baldesian Arsenal one does that, but I have no clue which other ones do. Either way, yeah, it's really weird to say that I have every single raid mount in the entire game right now. I'm calling it. I'm rolling a 69. Not quite. I got a 42, which is like it's all right. 10 wins, and half of them were like after I got Dragoon. What a fun job to play. Why does anyone play any other job? It's so much fun. I did get them out for 10 frontline wins. Let's go. 190 more. I got this mount and I recorded getting them out, and then I forgot to like actually claim them out and grab it. So here it is. I think all the 3 Disreputable Priest title mounts are all like armored horses. I think one's gold and the other one is something. I don't know. Maybe it's bronze. I don't know. But either way, I really like it actually. Like, I've been very negative about every single PvP mount so far that I've seen, including the series mount and like the one you get for 20k of the wolf marks. But this one's actually kind of nice. It's cool. The sword on the front is a little weird unicorn looking thing, but that's okay. It's fine. It's like a, I don't know. It's good to have a little Swiss Army knife stuck to your forehead. I don't know. This doesn't count for the series, unfortunately. The mount, I mean, the mount's been in the game for a while, but it's been removed and been put back in for the yokai event, I believe, or one of the events. There's a bajillion, but either way, it's part of a temporary event. So, in my mind, I'm not counting it as a mount for the series, which kind of sucks. But again, it's just progress for the big PvP ones. Just doing some editing, and I've been here for like an hour 20 minutes, and this is the first gold coffer we've gotten, so this is gonna be the mount, obviously. So yeah, so congrats to me. It's gonna be really cool. I actually called it this time. Oh, that's so much less painful than the one in Pyros. Holy, let's go. Dude, that's awesome. Let me pull up how much of this we've done. We've only done like 120 chests, 130 chests. And if you remember from Pyros, it was closer to 400 by the end of it. Very close to 400 by the end of it. So this is significantly easier. That's awesome. I mean, I'm gonna miss getting just the straight 100k gil for every single gold coffer, but my goodness, we got super lucky on that compared to the other one. I don't know if that's like the normal rate that people tend to get it at, or if I just got really lucky. That's awesome. All right, there's only one Eureka mount left anymore, and is the Baldesian Arsenal mount for completing it. I've not looked into doing that yet. I know there's a Discord for it. I don't think it's as hard as you'd think it is, or how the game makes it seem, but it still is intimidating, so I'll have to look into that. But yeah, there we go. That is another mount, and if I recall correctly, this should be mount 110, so we've hit another milestone. I don't know what it is with like the two Eureka mounts that you get from the bunny fates, but they're both awesome in like completely different ways. I just love, look at their face. They just look so happy to be alive. Like, I'm just gonna sit here staring at. It's beautiful. This and the Yeti are actually two like some of my favorite mounts. I really like them. I like the design of them. I know they're like mobs that are reused in other parts of the game. I don't care. They're cool. I like them. Really awesome. Really happy to have this done. It is like an AFK grind kind of taken away, but I'd rather have a super RNG thing like this be done rather than sit and worry about going super dry on it like we did for Pyros. So that's really awesome. Another of the kind of worrying mounts that I've been worrying about taking a while out of the way. Like I said, we will be completely done with Eureka when we get Baldesian Arsenal done, so I need to start looking into that a little bit because it'd be cool to have another section completely finished. But yeah, really awesome. I know I keep saying that, but that caught me by surprise. Maybe we win. They've got only 4 people on their team, one of them DC'd. Maybe this is how we win. Oh, it's actually paused the timer waiting for them to connect. Oh no. Please let us play without them connecting. I need the advantage. I suck at this, please. We're winning, but then they reconnected. It's so weird. Like, it feels like the same people are always on the same teams. Like, I feel like I have the same teammates every single time I do CC, and the other team always has, like, the same people. Like, I've played against the same Monk, Bard, and Machinist the last few matches, and I don't know why.
I'm in.
Is that it? Did I get it? Oh my, I wasn't even tracking it anymore. I didn't care. Oh, it's so miserable. I've got another 20 wins. I won't even another 20 wins I need for the last one. And then after that, I have another like 130 wins I need for the Crystalline Conflict one. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of just a gold version of the other one, so it's fine. I like it. I mean, so far these are my favorite sets of PvP mounts are the ones from the Disreputable Priest. The silver one we saw before, and now this gold one. There's a black one as well that you get, like I said, for 60 total wins in anything while using the title. I think anything but Rival Wings, but Rival Wings actually doesn't exist. No one has proof that Rival Wings exists. But either way, so cool mount. I will say PvP is the most tilting thing I do in this game. It actively makes me feel super toxic playing it. It's the most frustrating thing I've had to do. I would rather go and do the fake grind again than grind out all these mounts, to be honest. So I'm really trying to find the fun for this. The thing I hate personally is I'm watching a video and someone just sounds miserable with it. There's fun moments. There's definitely fun moments with this where things are going well. You just feel like you can contribute. It's a back and forth match. Maybe you lose, maybe you win. Oh well. But there's also just times where it's frustrating and it's draining, and you lose like 5 times in a row, and it's like, why am I doing this? Either way, we will see how things go with PvP. I'm probably not gonna sit down and just grind out like 10 wins in a row like that again, because it took me like 2 hours and I had to go for a walk during it and step by the computer multiple times just to like stretch and just like decompress. So but I'm gonna make progress on this, so keep me honest with that. Keep me up to doing that. Keep making me do PvP. All right, that's pretty much an entire month of stuff all wrapped up in a 30-minute video. I wanted to catch us up to the current patch so we can get into some of the ultimate prog that we're doing, some of the interesting mounts that released with that, and a little bit more current of what we're doing. I think the next video is also gonna try to squish a lot of content in it. So, but the most important thing with this video, obviously, is that we got Eureka completely finished with in the span of one video, which really good, really nice. A huge weight off my shoulders for that. But just a lot of stuff. Like I got myself to do PvP, you know, that's good. It's difficult to do that. So either way, hopefully this will get things to be a little more recent, because I hate the feeling of like posting a video and the clips in it being like from 2 months ago. I think that's not fun way to do things, and I'd like to keep things a little bit more recent. So I'm gonna push to do that a little bit more, release a few videos a little more quickly just so we can get to that point. But there's a few side things that didn't really get mentioned in the video, stuff like doing leave quests for those long-term achievements, just doing some of the more daily mundane stuff. Didn't really bring that up as much, but wanted to compress kind of the really important stuff. So we'll be heading into patch 6.3 next video, talking about some of the new mounts that got released with that, including another very long grind that I thought we were done with, but we get to return to. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you all for watching and support as always. Episode 12 hopefully will not take more than a couple weeks to come out, but lots of fun stuff coming down. I have been progging the Omega Ultimate on my Twitch. I don't like plugging my other stuff, but if you enjoy watching stuff like that, if you want to see how that's coming along, I usually stream pretty much any day that we're doing prog on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, so it can be fun to watch. We're still figuring our way through it, but hopefully we can make some more progress in that, and I think it's fun to kind of share that with everyone. But either way, I will see you all for the next video.